Hi everybody. This video is for day 13 notes of solving quadratics. We're going to be doing two things. This first video is solving using inverses. Now we talked about this a little bit yesterday, and your warm-up today got you ready to handle some square roots. But what you always want to do is you want to isolate the squared term or expression. So like on letter A, we want to isolate the x squared. So what we need to do is inverse operations. We would divide both sides by 3, which is 16. And at this point, to undo the squared, we do that by taking the square root. So on the left-hand side, those undo each other. So we're going to have the x equal, and the square root of 16, if you recall, is 4. So it's going to be plus minus 4. Now, when we're just doing radicals, simplifying things, we don't necessarily are concerned with the plus minus. But when we solve for x, we actually realize that both of those values work. All right, that's letter A. So letter B, again, we need to isolate the x squared. So we need to get that by itself using our algebra inverse skills. So we're going to have a 2x squared is equal to 116. And then at this point, we need to divide both sides by 2. We get x squared is equal to 58. So we have, and then we are doing the square root to undo that x squared so we can get the x by itself. So we have x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 58. Now when we have these radicals left over, we have to take a look and see, do we have anything to simplify? Are there any perfect squares? And if you look at the number 58, there are not any perfect squares to simplify that further. Okay, for letter C, this is what we want to isolate, that expression that is squared. So in order to do that, the first thing we need to do is take care of that 7. So we're going to end up having 4, the x minus 1 squared is equal to 40. Now this is being multiplied there. We want those parentheses in the squared to be isolated. So here we divide by 4. So we have this is equal to 10. So we need to get to that x, and it's squared. So we need to undo or do an inverse of the squared both sides. Those undo each other. And we're going to have the x minus 1 on the left, and we're going to have the plus or minus the square root of 10. If you notice, 10 does not simplify down any. But here is what we still need to do. We still need to get the x by itself. So we're going to do an inverse operation. We're going to have x is equal. Now here's the thing. The 1 and the square root of 10 are not like terms. So we have to keep those separate. So if you notice how we had, let me see if I can do this. This was our value on the right. It has the plus minus. And if you notice, we need to continue to keep that plus minus, because radicals can have 1 or 2 solutions. Okay, that's the inverse part. Next video, we'll take care of the quadratic formula. See you next time.